Hey, fifth grade, let's begin our weaving. Before we start, make sure that you have a loom. There's a couple of different ones to choose from. If you are a beginner, I would choose the thin one. If you have done some weaving in the past, you can choose one of the bigger ones. They definitely look a little sad, but even though they have broken parts, they actually work just the same. So choose a loom. Everyone should have their own scissors. And everyone should have their own weaving needle. It's not super sharp, it's just made of plastic. Please don't bend them though, because they can snap. You also need a piece of, or one of these masking tapes at your table. I think I only have 8, so you'll have to share one per table. And then each of you should have one of these or one of these. This is the string that we're going to put onto the loom. Okay. Hopefully you have all this stuff. I'm going to put some of it to the side. I'm going to do this on this thinner loom right here, and I'm going to start. Like I said, you can use from here or use from here. I just put these on these little cardboard things so each person had their own. And I cut a little slit into it so that the ending piece wouldn't unravel. So all you have to do is like pull it through there, and now it's free. You're not cutting anything yet. You're actually just placing it on the loom first. So you find the end. You're going to drape it over the right side, this side, and the top part of the loom like this. And I compare it to like a little dog tail that's like hanging over a fence. So right side, top. Everyone have that? As you have that, take turns grabbing your tape, and all you need is a piece like the size of your pinky is plenty. That's good. And you're going to tape that down right there. Give it a good massage so that that tape does not go anywhere. Next, grab a pencil and write your name. Oh gosh, this is hard to see. You might have to draw kind of dark. Maybe you can see it. So that is super important because all of these are going to look the same in about a minute. So your name needs to be on there. You can pause the video if you need to. Once your name is on it, now we're going to start to add the rest of the string. Remember, I didn't cut anything. I just glued it on the top right. Now I'm going to pull my string down, and I'm going to pull it through this the bottom right one. Sometimes it helps to give yourself a lot of this, just so you're not pulling it along too much. So you pull it up, and you go back through that same one you just did the doggy tail on. So it's like a line straight up. And I'm going to pull back down nice and tight. And now I'm going to go through the second one. I'm going to pull up. This time, you're going to go through the second one. I'm going on the back side too. So I know that looks a little weird, but we repeated it. Now I'm going through the third one, up through the third one, back side, fourth one, straight up to the fourth one. Back side, fifth on top. So the back slipping like this, they both have string on them. Almost done. Now on this last one, make sure your name is on the front and on the top. Right here, we are going to get our piece of tape, and we are going to tape it right here. Not these other ones, because we want these to be loose, but we're going to, I'm not even going to cut it yet because I don't need to. I just have a piece of tape. Same like before. Maybe you can push these to the side so you don't get any of them put down, but you want this one, this last one, to be nice and tight up here. See how they're both at the top? They're both on the same side. The other side is totally, doesn't have any tape on it. This is called the top of your loom. You may cut your string. And there we go. Please remember to put this through that little slit that I cut, because then this doesn't get so messy when you put it back. All right, here it is. If you're feeling good about this, you can see your name clearly. Maybe you even write your name again over here. This is where we get to start the next part. I'm going to get my needle and I'm going to choose my color. There are many colors to choose from. This may remind you of this thing. Same situation. I cut a slit into this so that these don't get super tangled. Please make sure that you don't forget about this, because it keeps it nice for everyone in 5th grade who's doing this project. All right, I'm going to get a bunch of string, kind of unraveling it. Now, I usually measure it like about the length of my 2 arms. I know you obviously can't see me right now, but it's pretty long. And don't forget, put it through the little slit. Good. Now we're going to thread our needle. You take, this is called the eye of the needle. It looks like an eye kind of shape. You pull this through the eye of the needle. Have a little dogtail at the end, and you're going to tie a knot. So you make a circle and you pull it like that. If you want to do a double knot, you can. You don't have to, but a double knot's just a little bit more secure. All right, now the end of this is just kind of floating around. We need to attach this other end to the weaving. Is this the top or the bottom? Top. The bottom left is where I begin. I'm going to stick this little doggy tail through the bottom left, like that. I stuck it right under, so you can see that. I stuck it under with a little extra, and now I'm going to tie this on to the white string. 1 knot. If you want to do another, you can. I'm not even going to worry about it. It's a pretty good knot. It's nice and secure. The little doggy tail can just rest there for now. Don't worry about it. All right, the other end is attached, and now I'm going to start. So we go left to right, over, under is the way we do this. So over, under, over, under, over, under. Pull all the way through. Don't leave any of this hanging down here, or you're going to get a terrible knot. You don't want that. So pull all the way through, just like that. Because we're making a pouch, we're going to turn over, and this last one I did was under. So now on this side, I'm going to start over, under, over, under, over, under, over. Don't leave any string down here. Oops, that happens sometimes. Just pull it out, help it along. And then basically that's like the side of your pouch. See how it goes around like that? So this one went over. Now I'm going to go under, over. Ooh, except this is where things get weird. Okay. So I know it seems like you need to continue this pattern, but actually from this moment on, you are going to make your pattern by checking what happened on the line below. So this line below started with under, over, under, over. So I need to do the opposite. I need to now go over, under, over, under, over, under, over. So forget the rule from before. Now let's just see what the line below says. The line below went over first, so that means my second line, I need to do the opposite. I need to go under, over, under, over, under, over, under. Pull it all the way through. Don't lose any of that behind. Pull it nice and tight. That's the side of your pouch. And you keep flipping it over. Okay, now this last one below that started over. So that means I go under now. This one went under, so now I go over. Whoops. And you just keep trucking along as I'm doing. What's going to be next? I can't do under because that's the same. It's just going to cut right over it. I need to go over. Opposite of whatever the line below it is. Opposite of over is under. Oops, this happens. Make sure you're really paying attention. It needs to make the side of the pouch nice and tight along the side. So as you're doing this, eventually you're going to notice it's pretty spaced out. You can start to push these down so that they're a little bit tighter together. Eventually it's going to go all the way to the bottom, so I might as well do that now. So like right about there, that's probably good. Now let's pretend I've run out of string, and I know I still have some more, but let's pretend I'm run out of string and I need to attach more. What you do in that case is, if you still want this blue color, you could keep it going to make it thicker, or you could move to a different color. Let's pretend I do that. I'm going to do this nice little kind of mossy green color, and I'm going to attach it to the end of, to the end of this blue that's here. So I am going to take this end and knot them together to make one ginormous continuous line. It's almost like you're tying a pair of shoes. You're making that first knot like that, and then you need to make a second knot, double knot, nice and tight like that. Oops. You might even need to make it a triple knot. That happens sometimes, especially if they're different sizes. Good. Now, these little things popping off, not a big deal. Just leave those for right now. Make this nice and long, because if you remember, the other end of this string needs to be attached to this, right, to the needle. So I recommend just cutting off the scraps. Don't cut yourself, be gentle, okay? This end goes through the eye of the needle, and you make another knot. Boop. Cool. Now they're attached and they are ready to keep going. So I flip over, right, because I've already done this side. This last one that I did went kind of, sometimes I have to pull it up to check. It went under, so now I go over. Now this looks a little weird. I got to keep going with this blue until it really ends. So I pulled it all the way through. Now I'm gonna kind of push it under this string like that. There we go. And now I'm onto my green. So that's how you attach a new color, and that's how you just continue to keep going. Weaving does take a while, so be patient with yourself. Don't forget to push it down so it's nice and tight together. And little by little, they're gonna start looking like pouches, and they're gonna look so cool. And I'm really excited for you guys to keep going and yeah, staying focused and doing your best. Thank you for watching. Oops.